Hello, Serge here for the Backyard Driving Range. We don't have a question today, so that means it's the Serge in his own words, covering a very important topic that naturally I'm seeing all the time in lessons, and I'm seeing all the time, not all the time, too much in golf schools too with a lot of students. And that is, again, we're going to talk about a fundamental today, which is grip, stance, partial alignment. As you know, most of the time I'm always hopping on alignment, but today I'm going to hop on the grip. We're going to play some sweet music about a grip, and I'm going to give you some easy ways to learn the grip. Now, basically, if you go and look at many of our fundamental videos, we're going to talk about alignment. There's a huge chapter on it in a performance manual, and grip is very important. And we got a few things on the Peak Performance grip that's a little different than most everybody else teaches. So again, you're not going to find out most of this stuff in a daily. You got to go in there and get the down deep rudiments and fundamentals of the Peak Performance setup and swing, and you can only get those really in the manuals and everything else. This is where we answer questions and explain some things that in generalities, but the specifics is what you got to really have, because as I say all the time, if we're in the street here, the white line's in the middle where I'm standing right now, but there's that sidewalk over there and that sidewalk over there. The whole world's over there. We're on that sidewalk, okay? So you got to go into the manuals and the videos to get this stuff. But I'm going to give you a really good tip about the grip. Now, I've always stated that our second secret is palms perpendicular to the ground throughout the swing. So you have to have a grip which I call the 3P prayer position. Palms perpendicular to the ground, perpendicular to our torso. And if I got a nice parallel alignment, which would be aiming line at the target, well, let me put a couple sticks down here real quick just to show you. If I got the aiming line at the target and my alignment sticks, or arrows as I call them, some people call them sticks. I guess either word works. So we know they're parallel left because I'm locking them in here, all right? And I'm going to get this at the target. So we know that I'm going to get this thing set up with the aimed at directly at the camera, and I know it's at the camera because when I hold this club up right on covering that right arrow, I can't see the camera. All right? So when we take a parallel perpendicular, palms perpendicular to the ground, as we swing, our palms are perpendicular to the ground, so we clap them, we're perpendicular to the ground. Okay? So if I was to stand here and I get this one perpendicular to the ground, notice that when I swing in front of me and my hands clap, just like what I call the prayer position, all right, the palms are perpendicular to the ground. They're perpendicular to my torso. All right, and if I don't change anything and I come over to here, they'll be perpendicular to the aiming line. So that's what I call the 3P perpendicular relationship. All right, palms perpendicular to the ground, the torso, and the body, and that will happen every time at impact, guaranteed, because our arms, guaranteed by God, because our arms are connected to our shoulder, the ball and socket joint, which means they have rotation. We have a controlled degree of rotation to hit the golf ball in the mitten up the tree and in the mitten up the tree. Now, I'm only rotating to what I call toe up. The toe's never totally up because of the spine angle tilt. It's about 15 degrees short of it. That would be toe up. It is there, and I swing all the way up, and I'm trying to keep my palms perpendicular to the ground in my mind. That's where we get the image of in the catcher's mitten up the tree, then back to square, which will come in and square at that target, and then up. Guaranteed to be square every time it impacts. So the grip is important, because if I have a bad grip, say I get a strong left hand, even if my face is square, when that left hand returns to impact, which is going to want to return back to perpendicular to the ground, the face is shut. Where's that ball going? See, that face right now is aimed that way. Shut face. Open would be that way. Any degree of past perpendicular. Perpendicular is good. So that's why grip is so important. So, what's one of the ways we can help prove our grip? Well, I have a training aid that's come to us, and it's got one of these. I think you've all seen it. You can go to a lot of stores and buy these things. Club fitters have them, and it's got these grooves. I'm going to walk in and show it to you here on the camera. And it's got all these grooves on this grip, and you can see that the grooves, you can fit your thumbs on the grooves, and holding it properly. It's got grooves for the fingers over here, and on this grip sits to the left. My right hand gets on top, and it sits in this V for the V, and the thumb comes over here, and you got what I call the trigger position, where where they're touching each other, and it's sort of like holding a fishing rod to cast it. Okay, all right. Now I know this wasn't the best close-ups because I had to do it, because as you all know, I'm a one-man show here in the backyard. So it's the best I could do, so hopefully that worked out and you saw it. So you can grab this thing and just sit at home and watch TV and just let go and grip it. And when you think you're getting it pretty good, just pick up your golf club and see if you get it. Now, one of the things I've always talked about is crimping your fingers. If you crimp your left hand, you're going to lay the grip, you're going to lay the club in your crimp, which is going to get it from the middle joint towards the joint on the top joint on your left, on your pinky, and it's going to, and then you have to get the pad of your left hand on top at 6 o'clock. And one of the ways people say to check it is you should be able to do that. Take these 3 fingers off, you should be able to hold it. Then crimp your right hand, which is not going to lay in the middle joint of all the fingers. It lays in there. You're going to squeeze up with both grips, and this pointer finger of your bottom hand for right-handed, the right hand for right-hander, left hand for left-hander, is going to maybe stretch down a little bit, and you touch the thumb to that finger just enough so, just like fishing, the pole won't flop in your hands. You don't want the club tie flopping, and we squeeze upward with the grip. So one of the best ways to learn it, I think, and I've done this for years and years and years, is I tell people, go get a ruler. Now this is just a little cheap ruler that was given to me. It's got advertising all over it. You can go, most of all your big your hardware stores will usually have some of these to give away from by some of the companies they represent. You go to the big box stores, Lowe's and whatever the other one is, I can't think of it. Their colors are orange. Get one of these. It's just a little ruler, a 36-inch ruler, a yardstick, and it's flat and it's very narrow. But if you put it in the right place in your fingers, you'll always feel what? You'll always feel in the left hand. You can get the pad up on top of it, and it'll be up against the bottom of your palm. All right where the fingers join. And the same thing with the right hand. It'll be fitting right in that middle crease right there in the hands, and your thumb and finger should touch on the other side so you can hold it in there. All right? And this is really a great way to learn how to get your grip, that you can feel it, as I said, in all the right pressure points, but you can feel it flat. And if you're gripping it with your hands too tight and you straighten your hands out, you can see it's going to be turned one. You start reading, you can read the numbers on either side or whatever, or what's written there. You're going to see it. It's got to stay straight up and down when you go down to the ball. It stays straight to the ground, so you can start learning what a square club face looks like. Another easy way to learn it is, and this one here, you probably didn't even see it yet, huh? I had it in my back pocket. What is it? It's one of those paint stirrers that they give you. This one's a little shorter. It kind of cracked off a little bit on me, but you can see there's paint all over it, and that you stir your paint when you go buy it at any paint store, hardware store, or the big boxes, Home Depot or Lowe's. All right. Just grab your paint stirrer, hold it, same thing. All right, you can feel it flat in there, flat against the back of your palm right here. You can feel it right in the crease of those fingers right there. You can feel the middle of your pad of your hand sitting on top. You can take your right hand, you just make your crimp. It fits right in there. Whether you interlock, overlap, or 10-finger it, it's sitting right in there. Thumb's right over the top, touching up to your index finger for that trigger position at the top where it won't slip in your hands, and a paint stirrer. All right, so sometimes the easiest things in the world are what you want, and I mean, heck, when I'm at golf schools, I usually have these, and my lineman arrows work to do that. Okay, so something flat, about 1 inch in depth, and no matter how skinny it is, you can start feeling a really good grip. And if you've got a bad grip, you can see that it won't be straight up and down to the ground. So you get it corrected, you're going to start seeing and learning and being able to equate what a square club face is versus a shut club face or an open club face. All right, just a quick tip on some real easy, if you want to call them tools or gizmos, gadgets, or whatever we have in our garages, in our basements, in our workshops, in our offices. Rulers, paint stick, paint stir stick. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for getting a good grip, so you can make more consistent swings, hit better shots, and shoot those lower scores. That's it for the search for today. Better grip produces better shots and shoots lower scores. That's it for today, and I'll be talking with you all again soon.